when NASA launches a rocket into the space, they generally spend about 100 million US dollars. And once the satellite is put into the orbit, the rocket launcher is normally detached or destroyed, let's say. That means tens of millions of US dollars in ashes in minutes. All the scientists believed that reusable rocket launcher was not feasible. So they never invented one. And then there comes a guy with no space technology background, asking bold question, how can I create a rocket launcher that will not only get the satellite into the orbit, but also come back down to the station for the next flight? And look what we got today. So the reusable rocket launcher from SpaceX. All it required was one person to ask a bold question and experiment with new ways of doing things. So what really is innovation? Innovation is bridging the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Innovation doesn't always have to be tangible things like the rocket from SpaceX, Bill Gates' Microsoft computers, or Steve Jobs' iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch. It can be less tangible, like the search engine we use every day, and the cloud storage system, accommodation booking system, and food delivery applications, and ride-hailing applications, and so on. And innovation can also be totally abstract idea, like Obama's concept of disagreeing agreeably, which encourages constructive dialogue and understanding between parties. All these aforementioned innovations, they are useful in our daily life in one way or the other. So what really is innovation? The bottom line, innovation is connecting the dots. We have to keep trying until the dots connect. As you innovate, the path for the idea to success is never a straight line like that of an arrow, or even a curved line like the baseball. It usually involves a messy middle bit, which I'll be happy to take you through my personal journey. In 2010, I graduated with master's, and I wanted to start a tech magazine. My parents agreed to invest in my venture with very small condition that they wanted profit from year one. So I talked to about 5 printing houses, and they told me not to come into print unless I can burn cash for about 5 years. So in order to save my reputation from my family, I continued my day job in tech industry, honing my skills in building digital products. By 2013, Myanmar was on smartphone revolution. Internet started to be available in remotest part of the country. And this felt like a good timing to develop a digital media outlet. The good thing about digital is that it will cost me 100 times less money compared to the print. So it felt like a great timing. And also, my co-founder, who is also my sister, she returned from Singapore, and she couldn't stop bragging about how safe she felt living in Singapore and how empowered she felt living in Singapore. So this was a great timing about her woman empowerment idea and my product expertise blending in together, coming to infuse to make something happen. In 2013, there were only 2 types of media in Myanmar, investigative and entertainment. There was nothing of the sort that empowered a woman's lifestyle. So we thought this is a great opportunity for us to use the power of digital media to spread the women empowerment messages to every Myanmar woman's palm top. It sounds like we had everything figured out, right? We were walking down an untrodden path. A lot of people around us were skeptical, and often call us unwise because we were excluding the male population, which is half of Myanmar's population. You know, lack of experience and the doubt from people around us gave us pins and needles most of the time. But carrying these women empowerment messages and the vision of it in our hearts, we kept on marching. If you think about it, society really thrives when we have a diverse range of role models to aspire to. Back then, we only had one female role model. It made us wonder, why? Is it because we don't really have talented women in our society? Or that they don't have a platform to shine? We really wanted to figure out. And in a media landscape which was dominated by bad news and gossips, we wanted to be different. We wanted to write only the good news and really well-researched, lengthy featured articles. We thought if we did that, we'll be capturing everyone's imagination. And guess what? We failed. We failed miserably. We created fast-loading, mobile-first websites, and we even created the native applications. Very few people used it because internet meant Facebook back then. Not sure how much different it is now. Anyways, our dream to create traffic and earn ad revenue came crashing down to a catastrophic end. And all these led us back to the drawing board, and now we had to relearn what the audience wanted. The audience wanted short articles. The audience wanted listicles. The audience wanted infographics. And they wanted all of that on Facebook. And we did exactly that. And our empowerment messages started spreading like wildfire. And Gandwin magazine went from 0 to 1 million followers within months. And our inboxes started flooding in with messages saying how helpful our empowerment messages are. And most of the women, they called Gandwin magazine their sister or friend. And we felt like this is a great testament that the empowerment messages are working. And we quickly abandoned our ad revenue model in a consumer marketplace which is starting to boom with a lot of international brands. We were uniquely positioned as content experts. And we started strategizing content for many global brands, all because of our agility to understand the user behavior, the market changes, the market needs, and so on. So for me personally, what I learned from this process is to make mistakes, to make new mistakes, and to learn from them, to fail fast and to fail often. Because what really is innovation is connecting the dots, right? You have to keep trying until the dots connect. Innovation is also adapting to changes. Let me tell you, are you guys familiar with Heinz ketchup? Guess many of you are. It's a yummy ketchup. Well, back in the days, Heinz hit, glass ceiling of their profitability with their glass bottles. So the ketchup company had some catching up to do on the innovation side. Back in those days, they used a lot of ethnographic research, which means they sent researchers to observe how the individuals and the families were using ketchup in their day-to-day life. And one of the researchers found out that the moms were the gatekeepers of the ketchup bottles, mainly because their children are not competent enough to use the bottle, or most importantly, because of the safety reasons. In case you drop the glass bottle on the floor and if it cracks inside, the small glass particle would be hazardous if ingested. So this new finding led Heinz to innovate the squeezing ketchup bottle that we know today. This innovation wouldn't have happened if the inventors were sitting in their labs, were doing whatever they felt were necessary. This innovation came out of a very deep understanding of the customer requirements and the user behaviors. So how does it apply to us? After enjoying national level success with Ganwin magazine for a few years, our growth began to slow down. Our women empowerment messages reached to 6 million people, and it stopped growing from that. So we had some figuring out to do. When we looked into the user research, we found out that the users preferred video content more than anything else. The content consumption behavior has shifted so rapidly in front of our eyes, and it took us some time to get noticed. So we spent a few months perfecting our video product, and it's called Ganwin Tele. And when we launched with a series of social issues, tackling things like toxic relationship, domestic violence, gender-based violence, sexual and reproductive health and rights for women, digital safety, and financial literacy. And boom, the product took off. And we started reaching to about 11 million people by 2018. 11 million people in a country where the population is 54 million. Not bad. The journey is taking shape. So fast forwarding to 2019 and 2023, we created Ganwin Learn, Parenting Labs, and Banyataraka. Each of these digital media outlets focus on job empowerment and skills development, mindful parenting, and mental health for men. All this happened because of our deep understanding about the user behavior and the current existing societal issues. And most importantly, it all emerged out of our deep desire to tackle the social issues from whichever way we could contribute. So basically, we were fortunate enough to go to good universities, learn from the best teachers, and our impact projects are a way of giving back to our society while also having a sustainable business model on the sideline. As a recap, innovation. The path for an idea to success is never a straight line. There is this messy middle bit where you unlearn about your audience and where you relearn about what they actually are, what they want. And this is where you realign your product or your services to the exact needs of your customers or your audiences. This is also an amazing area where you are allowed to fail multiple times. And out of the lessons which you learn from by failing, you become better at innovating. You become a better innovator. All the while believing in your vision, even in the darkest of the times, that you will make it through this messy middle and emerge on the other side, which is success. Let me share you a very beautiful quote by Steve Jobs. Everything around you that you call life was made up by someone, by people who are no smarter than you, are, and you can change it. You can influence it, and you can also build things other people will find useful. The path to innovation is always, it can always start with one simple question. What specific user problem am I solving? Or what specific business problem am I solving? Because, audience and the business are two sides of the same coin, and if you keep your audience requirements close to your heart, the innovation you make will eventually turn out to be a very useful one to your audiences. And innovation, like, everything else, is also a skill that you can develop today. So let me leave you with one simple exercise or a challenge. Think of 5 new ways of doing something before your breakfast. In a year's time, you would have figured out 1,825 new ways of doing things. Imagine what you can innovate with that level of creativity available to you at your hand. Thank you very much, guys.